Hey guys, it's your girl Forever Jazz. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with my top tips on how to travel on a budget. Because traveling can cost a lot, especially if you want to see a lot of places, but you don't have a lot of money to do it. So I'm going to tell you how you can travel all across the world for cheap. My number one tip is save ahead of time. It's so important to save up for your trip ahead of time. So think about your trip with a budget in mind, how much you want to spend, how will you get there, where are you going to stay, what do you plan to do once you get there. It's great to think some things out and think about things you would like to do. That way you can go look at the prices, see what's affordable and within your budget, what's not. So maybe you could eliminate some things before you even get there. Trust me, this tip helps a lot because then you won't overspend because you have already planned your things out. You don't have to plan day by day what you're going to do, but just have an idea in mind of some things that you may want to do. Tip number two, create a daily cash allowance. So think about how much you want to spend the entire trip, like I said for tip number one. Then you divide that amount by how many days you will be on the trip. The amount you come up with after you divide the entire trip cost by the amount of days is the amount you can spend per day. Tip number three, be flexible with your dates. Remember that prices may go up during holiday time, school breaks. Those are the times of the year when things tend to be a little bit higher. So if you can avoid traveling during those times, you can save a lot of money. And during the week tends to be cheaper on the weekends because a lot of people tend to travel on the weekend, so they kind of hike the prices up for a weekend date. So if you can travel during the week, if you have the availability in your schedule to leave during the week as opposed to the weekend, that can save you money. Also, make sure that you're traveling during the off season. Some destinations are more popular during certain times of the year. So if you can look into when is that place's off season, then you can figure out what's the best time for you to go and a time that will be affordable to you. Tip number four, use different search engines to determine which airlines has the cheapest flights and the best time to fly. My absolute favorite thing to use in the whole wide world is Google. Google does everything you need it to do. But I like to use Google Flights, and I'm actually going to insert a clip to show you how to go through Google Flights to figure out what's the best time to fly and the cheapest dates for where you want to go. So you're going to go to Google and you're going to type in Google Flights. Then you're going to click on Google Flights and you're going to go under the Explore tab. So mine says I'm leaving from Detroit because I live in Detroit. And you can pick specific dates or you can go to flexible dates, which I'm going to do. Under flexible dates, it has popular destinations to visit. And when it first comes up, it will just tell you the best and the cheapest time to go to these destinations. But if you already have a specific month in mind that you want to go, you can go ahead and pick that month. So I'm going to pick June. And it comes up, what's the best time to visit these places in the month of June? And then you can also pick if you only want to go for a weekend, if you want to go for a week, and if you want to go for 2 weeks. As you all can see, going for a week to New York City was the cheapest. So you can just scroll down and see what other places you can go to for a week in June that are very cheap. Washington, D.C. is very reasonable. Let's see, Atlanta is very reasonable coming from Detroit. Philadelphia, New Orleans is only $88. So there are a lot of different options that you can choose. Now let's say that they don't have the destination that you want to visit. And let's say you want to go to Hawaii. You can just go ahead and enter the destination and pick your month of travel. So let's change the month. Let's say I want to travel to Hawaii in August. Then you can just see which destinations in Hawaii are the cheapest at what time in August. You can go ahead and pick if you're going on a week just for a weekend or if you're going for 2 weeks. It looks like the cheapest time in August is actually 2 weeks. But of course, if you stay for 2 weeks, you're still going to spend a lot of money because you still have to pay for your hotel for those 2 weeks. But it will tell you the cheapest time to fly. So you can put in any destination that you want to go to into this search box. And this site is very helpful because it will tell you the cheapest time to fly anywhere. Like you can even use this if you're going to go ahead and book a package, but you want to know when the flights will be the cheapest first, so you can look at your package based off of those dates. I use it for that sometimes, which is a really good thing if you have the flexibility of picking when you would like to travel. Tip number 5, how to find cheap hotels. I recommend going on hotel.com, also Priceline, because with Priceline you can choose your price, or you can get their express deals where you get to pick between like a 1 and a 5-star hotel, and it'll give you just a certain price. Now with that, you won't know what hotel you're staying at until closer to your date, but if you're just trying to be affordable, you can tell them what area you would like to be in. Also, when it comes to travel lodging, be open-minded because you can also book with Airbnb, HomeAway, and you can rent out people's homes. People rent their apartments, condos, houses, and they even rent rooms. If you just are traveling by yourself and you just need a room and you don't plan on being there that often, I mean, some people are okay with just renting a room for someone. Me personally, I wouldn't rent a room from someone because I just like my own space. But if you're okay with that and you're just trying to save money, that's definitely a cheaper option. Tip number 6, try to book package deals. These options are usually more affordable because they're combining your flight and your hotel together. So they're trying to give you the best price to book those things together through their site. My favorite things to use when booking a travel deal is Groupon and Book It. Book It also has the opportunity for you to look at rates by date so you can see when is it the cheapest time to go. And then Groupon always have deals. They have deals on everything. They have all-inclusive deals. They have just hotel deals, activity deals. So I always go to Groupon. When I'm going out of town, I go on Groupon and I see what activities I may want to do. And if they have them on there, I'll go ahead and purchase them. And you can save so much money using Groupon. Make payments. If you don't want to pay for it all in one lump sum, that's okay. You have options. The first thing I would say is maybe take a cruise, because with a cruise you can see multiple places for a low amount of money. And you can put a deposit down. Sometimes the deposit may be $50, sometimes it may be $100. But you could put a deposit down and then you can make payments on it as you go. So that way you're not trying to give someone a bulk of money at one time, especially if you're not good at saving. That's probably your best option. Or on Book It, as I mentioned before, Book It has a lot of options. They have the option of pay delay, so you can make payments on that also. And if you're traveling with a group on Book It, you can split the payment, so you can use different cards. So there are a lot of options. You just have to do your research. Tip number 8, try to find all-inclusive deals where your food and your drinks are included, because this will save you a lot of money. Because as we all know, food and alcohol adds up, especially when you're paying gratuity too. Those things add up and they keep on adding. And these are things that you're probably going to do every day. You know you're going to eat every day. You might eat 3 times a day. You know you're going to drink. Well, those of you who do drink, alcohol adds up. As we know, alcohol goes like that, especially when you're on vacation. People drink on vacation. Trust me, you can travel by yourself. You don't need help. You don't need a travel agent to book a flight, to book a hotel, to book a package for cheap. you can do it. With the right planning, you can plan the best trip on a budget for you. So guys, those are my top tips on how I travel for cheap. And these are the things that have worked for me over the years. And I've been loving it, traveling and living my life. That's the best thing to do. See the world. There's more to the world than just the state that you live in. And if you're young, that is the best time to travel. When you're young, have a job, no kids, it's the best time to travel and see the world. Even if you have kids, even if you have a family, you can find deals to travel with your kids for treat. On Groupon, they have plenty of kid-friendly deals. So just research, use Google. I love Google. Use Google for everything. Use Google. Google, you will find so many deals. Just type in cheap flights to Mexico or cheap hotels in Orlando. Whatever you want to do, type it in Google and they'll give you a list of options and plenty of different sites you can use. Or like I said, my favorite sites, Book It, Priceline, Groupon, Hotels.com. They are great. Great. I even use Orbitz and Expedia from time to time. So there are plenty of sites out there for you to use. And I hope these tips have helped you guys. I hope you guys go ahead, travel, see the world. And I thank you so much for watching. If you have not already, subscribe. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have some additional tips that I may have not thought of, comment below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.